Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
To a new conversation. Oh my God. To a new conversation as well, but to a new episode.
I'm actually not going to delete it because I don't know. I like this.
Welcome back. We're so happy that you're back to a new episode of Theresa and my podcast. Oh my God, I literally have lost everything I just wanted to say.
It's Saturday and it's really hot. I don't know why. I'm like sweating.
Yeah, Theresa's sweating her ass off, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, anyway. It's a bit of a funny one. I think we're just getting excited because we're watching Sex and the City later with the girls, having a girls' night.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. And I'm just getting so hot thinking of this. You know, I was like, mimosas and... No, what do they drink? I think they always drink Cosmopolitans, right?
I
think they drink Cosmopolitans.
Oh, yeah, no. What's the drink called with Bloody Marys?
No, they don't drink Bloody Marys.
Really?
Yeah, they drink Cosmopolitans.
Yeah.
Who drinks Bloody Marys?
Anyways, how are you today, Theresa? How's your day been?
Very good, actually. I started off with a dance this morning and then I went for a walk. And yeah, I danced too. I danced my ass off this morning. No, I actually woke up and I danced because I felt like it.
I can literally imagine you're like sleeping and you're like...
No, I have construction workers in front of my window and they probably saw me jamming off to like some... I was like listening to RyX. So it was
I hope our playlist...
not this morning, but otherwise all the time. But no, I just like fell in love with RyX because we've been to a festival where he was playing and he has amazing music, especially if you want to like have something more like...
Doesn't he have a new album out right now?
Well, he has an album, but it's not very new. I think it's like 2020. I could be really wrong. I'm not the biggest fan, but like I like his music.
Carol, you're so 2021.
No, yeah, but he's just like a genuine guy, and I think... I don't know, I just listened to the music this morning and I was just like having a nice slow... I journaled this morning.
Oh,
so
nice. I saw on your Instagram story.
Yeah,
like RyX.
Yeah,
plus, journaling.
Yes, I just had a really wholesome morning. How about you?
I had a really good morning as well. I woke up, I made some breakfast for my sick boyfriend because I'm a goddess.
Life material.
But yes, I made some breakfast. I felt good because I was like, I'm just going to do some good deed in the world. Mm-hmm. And then I had a cold shower. I did a little bit on my hula hoop. A little sesh. And then I started doing some schoolwork again and I was just, when you're like sitting in front of the computer and like you stare at it for 30 minutes and you're still like at the same point where you are 30 minutes ago and you're like, the time's passing and then I was like, fuck, Teresa's arriving soon. Like I need to get to something, but
She sent me a message. She was like, can you actually come at 3? And I like knew exactly what was going on. And I was like, I feel you, girl, because I didn't write a page today, but it's okay. I just felt more like dancing and journaling this morning. So
no, definitely. Yeah, Theresa and I were actually pretty productive yesterday, right? When we went co-working with our friends.
Running through the rain.
Oh my God.
It was actually quite good.
It was quite
until it wasn't anymore and my feet were wet and I was just like...
Did you end up like having a really warm shower at home?
Of course,
what did you do?
I walked home and I was just like drenched in rain and I was like took my clothes off, like literally like just throwing it all away and then I just went in the shower and then I just was chilling in my bathrobe the whole evening.
Throwing it all away, like...
Yeah, and I actually had like a mental breakdown last night. Not a mental breakdown, but I watched a movie and it was really sad. And for
Which
some reason,
one?
I don't know the English name of it, but I think it's called As Deep as the Ocean or something. It's like about this woman whose kid gets kidnapped and then like 9 years later they get new neighbors and the son looks like her kid that got kidnapped and she's like, that is my son. And it's about them and it actually is her son. And then it's about because that kid grew up in a different family now and it doesn't remember his mom, and then they just take the kid away from the actual, like not the actual family, but like the family grew up with, and then putting it in the actual family, but he doesn't know the parents, so it's just like about them adapting to the kid, and it's so sad. The whole movie is just so sad, and I was just like so depressed after watching it. It's like a really good movie. You can like go watch it, but it's very sad.
Does it have a sad ending?
No, it has a good ending, but like still, it just like throughout the whole. I don't know, maybe just it's my hormones.
It's in the air.
And then I just was like, and I let it all out and it really fits into our episode today because I was thinking about some things that I would tell my younger self and I would tell myself right now because I was thinking about some unnecessary thoughts that didn't really serve me in that moment. And
you know, you want to hear something crazy? I actually had a dream which had to do something with the topic we're having today. I don't know, like, I don't remember specifically the dream, but it was like I was wearing this like blue dress and there was like a younger girl in front of me. She was also wearing a blue dress and like she was me and like as a child, I think. I don't know. And it was just so crazy. I woke up and I was like, oh my God. But I don't remember it anymore. I should have written it down.
She's like a sidekick next to me.
But yeah, anyways, we actually kind of already said our gems of the week.
No.
Right? No.
I mean, okay, I guess so. You didn't really mention it. You just like mentioned it on the side. Like,
yeah, I just mentioned it.
I did my hula hoop today, guys. I'm a hula hoop girl. Yeah, I guess mine's Ryex. I have some other ones, but I'll keep them for a later episode. But yeah, Ryex, I would say, because I was literally listening to him like all day today and then yesterday and the day before. It's just really good music because the weather wasn't as good and it's really like
rainy music,
gloomy music. Yeah.
Nice. No, mine's hula hooping, as you maybe haven't noticed yet. Like, I don't know. It makes me so happy when I just, you know.
I can't do it. I literally tried to do it before we started the episode. And I was like, I couldn't do it as a kid and it made me really upset because I get really sad when I can't do things.
Yeah, but you got to learn.
I know. That's like a bad thing, but like I didn't. And it's really matching the episode as well because when I was a kid, I couldn't do it and now I still can't do it. So I would tell my younger self to just learn some hula hoop. But I can start here, you know, I can start today. Maybe you can teach me some.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll be your teacher.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, you just have to move your hips. I was like, it doesn't work like that. I don't know. I just can't do it. Maybe I don't have hips, but it's harder than you think.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, Theresa actually already told you the topic of the day, but today we wanted to chat a bit about things that we that we would like to tell our younger selves, you know, just
our past selves.
Oh,
because we're still young, but like I think like as teenagers especially.
Yeah, no, just like as a teenager, when you're like 15, you're heartbroken of this guy who's not worth it, like you know that kind of self. But yes, we've collected some things that we wanted to. You know, maybe it actually helps you right now in your situation. Yeah. Like, it doesn't only have to be like young self, past self, like Theresa has said. But
I think those are things that I still tell myself to this day and I still have to learn. But I think there are things that I'm internalizing more and more. And I wish I would have started to internalize them when I was 15.
Yeah, no,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? Like, I wish I would have thought of these things when I was younger. Because then I would have, just not had as many unnecessary mental breakdowns. And
I know, same.
Overthinking shit that wasn't worth my time, but you know, you live and you learn.
We're here now. Look at us.
Yeah. So this is not just for like teenagers. This is for everyone out there, and just maybe you can. I'm looking at the camera. Maybe you can take some advice from this and.
I think you should start with it because you have a really cute one.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not like a thing I would tell my youngest. I guess, but I would tell that everyone who's listening right now and myself, it's to just take a deep breath and, we can do it together. Yes. No, but just take a deep breath. I think sometimes that like literally helps me.
You just like hold so much tension as well when you're just nervous or I think in our day to day we just don't really realize how not well enough we breathe. And then when you actually do it, you're like, oh.
As a teenager, I feel like I never.
I never breathed.
No, I actually feel like sometimes I didn't, and I just like. Because I talk so much as well, and I was just
no, it's
on a run the whole time, and then I get exhausted really quickly. And I feel like now I really implemented more like breathing into my daily life. And sometimes I like catch myself like stressing again or overthinking, and I feel like it's not the answer to all your solutions, but it definitely calms you down in the moment. It makes you sit and just be like, okay, what am I thinking about? What's the situation? What's going on? And just be present. It helps me to be more in the moment.
Yeah.
So wherever you are right now, just take a deep breath and. Tune in with us in the episode.
Yeah, no, it also makes you like when you like breathe deeply, it also makes you like assess a situation more and like more in a calmer state than you actually are. You know, like when something's making you angry or like it's an uncomfortable situation, you know, instead of like immediately reacting to it in the state you're in now, you should just, you know, take a deep breath. ever think about it and then react afterwards. But just the breath is a present, a gift that we sometimes neglect and forget in our daily lives.
Yeah. It's nothing I would tell it to my younger self, but it wasn't like actually a poem I wrote down. I'm just looking down here because I have my notes.
I still have my phone here. So.
But yeah, what would you tell your younger self?
One really big thing when I think, like I was already saying, like, you know, you're 15, 16, you have a first heartbreak, or you just kind of like, you just really are running after that one guy that's not worth it. Like, just one thing I would tell my younger self is that I shouldn't waste time on like things and other people that aren't important to me or that drain my energy. So basically, don't waste your time on someone who doesn't deserve it and who doesn't deserve you directing the energy to them. So I think that's really, really important when you think about it now. You just like stop pleasing others just because you think you have to.
Yeah, I think looking at us now, I mean, I don't know how it is with you, but I feel like we're in a place where we only hang out with people that we really enjoy our time with. And I still struggle with those things. But like when I look at my teenage self, you just want to be friends with everyone. And it's like the more the merrier. You're just like, oh, I want to have all these friends. And like, I want my birthday party to be like 500 people. And then you just like drain yourself because a lot of those people don't serve you. And also like, it's just too much at once. Like you can't have too many social contacts. It's actually like, I don't know if you know Dunbar's number.
Sorry?
Dunbar's number. Dunbar is like I don't know if he's a psychiatrist or like a sociologist or something, but he found out that actually he did experiments on brains and like social contexts, and he actually found out that everyone only like the perfect amount of people or relationships that you can have is 150. Obviously, it depends if you're like an extrovert or an introvert.
I don't even have that much.
No, but like 150 is like how much you can have in a lifetime. And it's relationships relationships, he doesn't mean like close relationships. He means like people you would go to a bar and have a drink with, and you would sit down and have a drink with, and you would have a conversation. So like 150 social contacts. And with social media nowadays, it is so hard to
limit that number.
That number because you have so many like fake friends or like so many like.
My foot just fell asleep. I'm just trying to find a position.
You have so many like friends on the surface, you know what I mean? Like not real, like shallow friendships that don't
very
really mean
anything.
Yeah, and then you still see what they're doing in their life because if you go on like social media, Instagram, for example, you see their stories and you see all these people and what they do, and then you just kind of get to know like a part of everyone's life while also living your own life, and it just gets a lot like. It gets really overwhelming, I think, sometimes to be with everyone and to like text back everyone, especially if you like traveled the world.
Oh my God. Texting back people just stresses me out.
Yes. And I think especially because the older you get, the more people you meet. And if you want to hold contact with all of these people and like we traveled, so we met people all over the world, and it's just really hard sometimes. And I think really draining and just like figuring out, okay, who do I want to spend my time with now? Who do I want to text back? Who do I want to call? What serves me as well? And be a bit selfish in that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I just wanted to say that it kind of plays into the point that I wrote down, which is one that I still have to learn.
Which one?
Which is stop pleasing everyone else and start pleasing yourself, which is kind of what you said as well.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh my God, this fly. Have you seen this fly? It's just, sorry guys, it's just this fly flying around. And I'm like,
I can see it now, it's over there. But stop pleasing everyone else and start pleasing yourself, and it's your life and you can choose who you spend that life with. And also saying yes is a good thing, but saying no is powerful, and there's a power in saying no. And I think I really need to learn that still, because I think I've implemented it more in my life, but saying no is so powerful, and it's really important to sometimes stop and think, do I really want to meet up with this person? Do I want to put my energy into this? Do I have the energy to do all these things? And not just like with meeting up with people, it's so many parts in your life, whether it's work or school or sex or whatever it is. Saying no is important and powerful. And I think in our culture, we really get taught that like you always have to say yes.
Like say the yes like mindset, like, you know, be open to everything and stuff.
Yeah, you should experiment things and you should be open, but
to some extent,
it's also okay to say no.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And you shouldn't do things just because people tell you to. You should do things because you want to and actually want to. And I think a lot of people have struggles with tuning in with their emotions and figuring out what do I actually want? Like, I struggle with that. People always tell me, like, what do you want? And I'm like,
it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's like from the Notebook, but I actually don't know sometimes what I want. I'm like finding it really hard to think about because I've been people pleasing all my life. I've been a people pleaser, and there's some goods in that as well. Like, yes, I do care about people and I'm empathetic, but sometimes I forget to actually think about what do I want, where I have to be, how to protect my energy and my time. And I think I'm learning that more and more. But if I look at my teenage self, man, I was such a people pleaser. I was like literally saying yes to everything, no matter what it was. I was trying to spend time with everyone, and I kind of lost myself in that.
No, I guess it's also behind that stands a like biological aspect, because we're all all human beings are social beings, so we really want to connect on we want to connect to others as well on like a specific base, and we want to have
just moving Carol's microphone because I feel like you're not speaking in the microphone.
But yeah, so we want to connect with others, and so we want to have this connection, and in order to that we feel that we have to please others so we can get those connections. So I think there's a very evolutionary aspect behind all of this as well. So it's not only you, Theresa, don't worry.
I know. It's a lot of people actually, but I just think it's so sad that this mindset, I always think of that movie, with Jim Carrey. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called in English, but like where he says yes the whole time, where he has to like say yes. You know which one I'm talking about? I think it's called The Yes Man or something. He gets this like grudge on him, not grudge, this spell, yeah, I think something like that. It could be so wrong. I haven't watched it in a long time, but like I think he gets a spell on him, so he has to say yes the whole time
to everything.
And I always think of that, like that in our culture, it's so like preached to always have these adventures, but like sometimes, yeah, like we said, it's okay to just say no, stay in, not do the work. And it's actually called, I think there's a term for it, it's called essentialism, where basically you just focus on the essentials of your life. Like what is essential for your life, what actually brings you joy, and what do you really need right now, what serves you, and then crossing out the parts that don't serve you, because that actually helps you to also be more productive in those things that you actually want to do, instead of being a little bit good at a lot of things.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, my next one also goes hand in hand with yours, and it's don't change for other people, and don't try to be like another person in order for them to want to be your friend. For example, dressing like them, or looking the same way as them, or acting the same way they do. You're you're perfect the way you are. So you should not try to be like anyone else in order to be accepted by anyone. I feel like that was really, really important for me when I was younger. I was always like, oh my God, but like you said, I was kind of losing myself in order to be like other people because they were cool, or they were cool doing cool things. Obviously it's really good to be inspired by others and, find inspiration in what they do. But don't try and change to be exactly like someone else, because you are, how do you say, extraordinary. I actually had, I don't know if you remember, I had this video in my story the other day where it was like the chances of you being born or being brought into this world is like 1 to 800 trillion. So the chance of you actually being born is, that, how do you say it, that amount or that percentage. So I think that's really crazy, and we should just all embrace ourselves as these extraordinary beings. So yes.
I think it's really hard though sometimes to find yourself because of all the outer influences and all these trend cultures, and like trends are moving so fast with social media, and like you just want to do everything and be everywhere, and like finding your way in there is really hard. And I think I'm still finding my way, and I think it takes a long time, but definitely as a younger person, you're very influenced by everyone around you. And I think, just try to figure out your way there, and just again goes back to what does serve you, what do you like, and actually trying to access that emotion within you, like what brings me joy.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing you should focus on. And like that's, a thing that I wish I would have known earlier. And it kind of, again, I think our points play into each other.
Yeah.
Other points. Is one, I wrote it down a bit later, but I guess I'm just going to say it now, is, where did I write it down? Oh yeah, you are more than the box they put you in. So I think as people, we get put into boxes a lot of times, especially when we're younger. Or at least I felt like I was put in a box and was seen as this person, this girl that I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't. But then the more people tell you you are this kind of person and you are this personality, you start believing it, and you start not actually putting aside the things that you like and you think you are. I think from my example, it was always because of my older sister. She was like modeling, and even her, she was put in a box a lot. She's very smart, but I think because she likes fashion and she likes modeling and like all these things that seem a bit more materialistic, everyone put her in this box as like this girl that only is interested in boys and makeup and fashion. She's actually stupid and she doesn't have any other things to...
Any other interests?
Yeah, like she has no personality. And that's so not true. I know my sister, she's not like that at all, but people like to put her in that box. I think also because of jealousy. And since she was my biggest sister, and when I was like becoming a teenager and I got to meet people that living in a small town, everyone knows like each other, and I was always like the little sister of, and I was always also put in that box as like the girl that only is interested in makeup and boys and like fashion, and I'm stupid. Everyone basically always told me that I'm dumb and I'm stupid, and then I started to believe it, even though I had good grades, even though I was reading, even though I was not even wearing that much makeup, but I was just, and it's just people try to put you in these boxes and you start acting like that. I started to put on more makeup. I started to talk to only boys. I started to not read anymore. I started to go to parties and get super drunk and pretended like this person that I wasn't, just to fit in their box. And now I'm like, fuck you. I don't deserve to be in your box, and I'm putting that box aside, and that box doesn't exist.
I'm breaking this box.
Fuck those boxes. Like, I don't want to be in any box anymore. And like, I think people still have that image of me when I come back in my hometown.
Oh yeah, no, same. I think it's also in order for them to feel more like, how do you say, confident, they try and put you down, or like they try and put you in this box so they feel better about themselves, and they feel better about their insecurities and their jealousy. So they just try to put you in this box to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, and I think people will always put you in boxes or images and want to see you as this person, but I think it's more important to actually find out who you are and then stick with that, and fuck what they're saying, fuck what they expect of you. I'm just going to do what I expect of myself, and yeah.
And again, my next point plays into yours. You just said.
You're like, and again.
It is. No, it's basically like still a big one, which I still have, how do you say, I struggle with nowadays, like in my age now, which is don't be afraid and don't overthink. Being brave is very hard, but it's something we all have to do throughout our lives, no matter how young or how old. And also, constantly being bound by fear is no way to live. Obviously, fear is, like I said again, a very big biological part of the human brain. Like, how do you say, back in the day, they needed, fear to run away from lions or whatever, But nowadays, there's just so much, because our brains are so much more evolved. There's this like the fear is so much, how do you say, much more present in our lives. So yeah, I would definitely say to my younger self, don't be afraid of anything. Like, don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to do those things that you're afraid of, because you never know if you don't do them. Or if you, for example, I don't know, if you don't tell that guy that you think he's cute or whatever, like you will never know what happens if you don't do it. So I think that still plays a big role in my life nowadays.
Yeah. It's like just going for it if you feel like it. Again, don't do it if you don't want to. If you don't end up liking that guy, then you said you like him, and then you say, no, I thought I'd like you, but I don't actually.
Change my mind.
But at least you went for it, And I think, definitely you will never... That, again, plays into my point, is to screw up. And I think I still will probably screw up a lot of times, and don't be scared of failure. Don't be scared to screw up. Your 20s
I have that as well in mine.
Yeah, just like don't be scared of failure. Don't be scared of screwing up, because your 20s are made for making mistakes, or your teenage years are made for making mistakes. Like when you're older, people will not accept it as much as when you're younger. So go out there, do the things.
But I swear, like because you said like your teenage years are there to make mistakes. But I think this how do you say, also puts pressure on would maybe put pressure on older people, because they think, I can only make mistakes when I'm younger.
No, I'm like, that's why I was saying, like, we can still make mistakes, but especially when you're younger.
Yeah, no,
because you don't have that many people. Like, you don't have a family, for example. You don't have kids.
Yeah, no,
so
definitely.
There's more. It's just you're just living for yourself. Not living for yourself. You obviously have like parents and stuff as well, but when you're a teenager and you fuck up, people will accept it more. is when like obviously you can make mistakes when you're older as well, but it's more like, I mean, in the sense of like getting super wasted, trying out different classes and courses. And you should always do that as well when you feel like it when you're older, but especially in your younger years, you have also more time to do it.
Yeah,
like in your school years, or like when you're like right now, it's definitely the time where you should screw up and you should fail, and then you learn from it. So then you can figure out from your mistakes what you want to do on in your later life. So those years are actually really important to not figure everything out. You shouldn't have everything figured out. Life will figure itself out by you learning from the mistakes and the screwing ups you're doing right now. And you'll learn from that and you'll grow from that, and then you'll figure out later on, okay, this doesn't serve me, but that will. Yeah. I'll keep on trying. And I think nowadays everyone's so putting so much pressure on young people to have the figured out by like 18, you know which college you go to, you know which internship, you like know, have your whole life figured out. And like that doesn't give us space, whether it's mental space or actual space, to figure out what we really want to do and screw up and make mistakes and try out all these things. And
sorry, I'm just laughing because literally the next thing I was going to say, I don't know what's going on with us, Theresa, today, but it's just like, because I was literally about to say, like, you said that nowadays we have to like have, like it seems like we all have to have everything figured out by the time we're, I don't know, 20 something. But the thing I would tell my younger self in this case would be, don't rush to grow up. It's like, you know, when you're younger and you just look at everyone who's older, you're like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to be an adult. Like, I want to be grown and stuff. And now I'm just like, no. Yeah. I wish I would have just, you know, I wish time would go even slower in life and I can just cherish all those moments when I was younger. So definitely I would tell sweet little 15, 16-year-old Carol, like, hey, chill. You know, don't need to like rush to grow up. But even nowadays, like to us, don't rush, even though this, you know, your surroundings and everyone are like society's telling us that we have to have this and this and this and this by the time we're that old. But yeah, you just listen to yourself and just don't rush, chill.
Yeah, that's what I mean with that. Like taking your time to actually live life and experience life to the fullest, and screwing up and finding out who you are and what you like. Take those Spanish classes, take those baking classes. Like, even though it doesn't play into your career later on, you'll still have those hobbies or those things. And I think I didn't do that enough. I could have done that more. And I'm just telling my younger self and my present self that it's okay to take your time sometimes to just doing things that maybe don't like, or maybe doing things that you like, and that you'll figure it out at the end of the day. And yeah, don't rush to grow up, like you said, and don't rush in general, and be in the moment and live life to the fullest. And sometimes just don't think about what career you want. That's also a point I wrote down. Be in the moment and like live life, and then you'll figure it out, instead of always focusing so much on the future and where your career will be. Like when I was 13, I was like already had my dream university and this and that, and like it didn't actually end up like that how I wished it was when I was 13. If I would talk to my 12-year-old self, I'd be like, everything you're wishing for right now probably won't work out like that. Maybe it will, but it didn't really. Like, it didn't really work out the way that I was thinking. And it just, instead of spending that time when I was 12 years old thinking about where I would be now, fucking that and just going out and play with my friends.
Oh my God, literally. Next point I was going to say is be present as much as possible, because time fucking flies so quickly. If you think about it, I don't know, like even 2 years ago, like 2 years passed so quickly, or I don't know, like I remember turning 18 and now like 4 years have passed, or just like turning 16 and I was just having my first drink or something like that. And since then so much has happened, and you always think, oh, I have 1 year, like it's such a long time, but it's not. Even just a day flies by so quickly. An hour flies, like obviously it depends when you're at work, like time doesn't fly. No. But just in general in life, just time flies. So yeah, I wish my younger self, like I said, would have known, you know, be more in the moment and don't worry so much about the future, or what's going to happen, or what you should do next in your life. So yeah, just be present, breathe, like Theresa said in the beginning. It's so important.
And accept that life will change, and so will you. Like, you will change and life will change, and you can't control that now. You can't control the future, and just let it flow and accepting that change. Because I think about my past self, I had this idea of who I wanted to become. And I think accepting that maybe what you wanted in the past is not what you want anymore, and it doesn't serve you anymore. And I think I always was really holding on to that picture of like, oh, this is what I wanted when I was 12 years old. And now I'm like, oh, I didn't really become what I wanted to be when I was 12 years old, and just being like, okay, that's okay. I don't want that anymore. And I changed so much, and my values changed so much, and what I want from life changed so much, and accepting that and focusing on the now and what I want now. And if I would have told my younger self that, I would have had way more like free time to just chill and not worry, because like it's going to change anyways in the end, you know?
Yeah, no, just don't try and like have everything figured out.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't meet up with your expectations, you're just going to be disappointed in the end. So just take everything step by step. Obviously, it's so great to have goals and ambitions in your life, but sometimes, you know, like life doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out. And that's so fine as well. I think also a big thing I would tell myself is that I shouldn't take life too seriously, because it's all like a big, I don't know, like life's just life. And I feel like there's so much pressure on like living life and just living
what's your
every
purpose?
day. Yeah, like what's your purpose? What's your, I don't know, your goal in life? And like I used to think a lot about that. Like, oh, what do I want in my life? Like, what do I want? But now it's just, I think we've had this ages ago in one of our episodes, like, what's your purpose of life? And it's just to be myself and just try and be myself, try and find myself the best I can, and, you know, hang out with people I love, find love, and just love, like spread love. And I think that's just...
Make my soul grow, nurture my soul. And I really believe that soul's like, when I die, my soul will live on and go into another body. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe that, but it really, that thought really helps me to not put so much stress on this life, because I know I'll have other lives, and I know this life right now is just to be in this body and experience life and
through this vessel that
and again, go on adventures, learn different languages, cook, I don't know, just love with my friends, fuck up, go and get wasted on alcohol and kiss boys. I dread to kiss, but that's what life is about for me. Like I said, to make mistakes.
No regrets.
No regrets. I don't have any regrets.
We're the Millers movie, the tattoo.
Oh my God, no regrets.
No regret.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I think, I'm not saying with all these things that, all these points we're making, we're not saying that we fucked up as our younger selves. I think I still a good youth, and I think we still made it to where we are right now. But I think...
No, we did the best we could.
Yes, but I think if I could relive my life again with those thoughts in my head...
It would obviously turn out so much differently.
Yeah, and we're just telling it to people now who are maybe 30 now. And also, like I said, I still have to sometimes remind me of those things when I'm overthinking.
All of these points, they fit perfectly into my life right now as well. So
I think they will always fit in your life, because you'll always have like your inner child, and you will always have struggles and worry and don't believe in yourself or overthink your whole life choices. But you only have that one life, and I think you should cherish it.
Yeah.
Wow, so
the
deep.
End. No, I have one last one as well, which is I actually was thinking a few months back, or a few years or something back, that I wanted to get this tattooed, and it's everything is and will be okay, which is something we always have to remind ourselves of. No matter how shit the situation seems, it's all going to be fine. Like, it will always turn out the way it has to turn out. Like, maybe in that moment, it doesn't seem like the best possible outcome, but, you know, after some time, you realize that that was what you needed, and that was what's meant, like, that was what was meant to be for you, you know? But yeah, and I also wrote down, you're going to lose people, get your heart broken, feel alone, and that is totally okay. Nothing is ever permanent, so next time you're wrapped up in your thoughts of how awful and bad everything in your life is, visualize the way you want things to be instead. And that's just the first step to recognizing that, and just the step to being more happy, I guess.
I think it's funny because I just thought when you said, I wanted to get this tattooed, I immediately thought of YOLO, because I remember you wanted to get YOLO tattooed. I was like, is she going to say that? But like, YOLO, honestly.
I know, everyone says it's shit, but it makes sense.
It makes so much sense. I would get it tattooed, fuck it, YOLO. Basically, you can say it to everything, like YOLO. Like, yeah, oh my gosh. I would give you 100 euros if you do that.
Really?
If you get YOLO on your butt.
Like, just like on my bum?
Maybe I'll take it back. Maybe we should both get it. YOLO. Wearing like really short bikinis, like YOLO. Look at my butt, I don't care. Okay. Anyways, I'm like thinking at what I think I already mentioned like most of my points in between.
Yeah.
Because they all like go hand in hand.
I think I finished all of the ones I wanted to say.
I have one.
Okay.
It's
tell us.
People don't care, so why do you?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I sometimes get so, especially as a young person, I was so consumed by caring about what other people would think. I would not go to a restaurant by myself because I'd be like, oh my God, people would think I'm like this
lonely. Yes.
Yeah, this loser.
Yeah.
And people don't care. They don't even have time to care about you. And if they do, fuck them. And
they have they all have their own problems.
Yeah. So why do I care so much? Why do I care so much about other people? Like, why don't I just care about like myself? Because if you think about it, there's 100 billion million lives out there, but you only have this one life. And like, fuck everyone around you. And if there's someone out there who's saying like, oh my God, you're a loser eating alone in a restaurant, I don't want you in my life. And I think when I was younger, I really had struggles. I really had struggles like doing things for myself because I was always so worried about what other people would think of me. And I still do that. I still think sometimes I do things not even realizing that I do them for other people and not for myself. And sometimes I think I just have to internalize and just be like, fuck it. I'm going to do it for myself, not for anyone else. And who doesn't care can go F themselves because
I swear, like, I obviously still have those kind of thoughts, you know, like being scared of what other people think. And that really goes hand in hand. But now I'm more informed about why that is. And for me, like the ego plays a very big role because the ego always holds on to, you know, external validation that you have to be fed by external validation and you have to, you know, be valued by other people to be recognized and do those things to be recognized. But now that I know more about that kind of stuff, I can remind myself of that in the moment. And then when I get when I get a thought like that, I'm like, no, it's fine. It's just my ego. It's not myself who's saying that, you know, just don't give a fuck. It's fine. And obviously this takes a lot of practice and you will not always succeed. But I think now that I'm older, I have more knowledge about that. When I was younger, I didn't have that much like knowledge about ego and like, I don't know what kind of like that spiritual knowledge that I have now. So yeah. I wish I would have told that's what I could tell my younger self now, but I still turned out fine.
No, I think it's because a lot of times when I have like FOMO, I think of that as well because I'm always like, I see stuff on social media and I'm like, oh my God, I should network, I should meet people, I should live out my 20s. And then it's like, actually, but like, why would you do that right now? Like, yes, you should do all these things, but like, if you don't feel like that in the moment, why do you need to do this? Because like, do what makes you happy.
Who's telling you to? Like,
yeah, who's telling you to
ego.
do all these things? Like, if you see stuff on social media as well, a lot of times, I swear, the parties that are like in stories are actually not that fun because if you're actually in the moment, you don't post them on social media.
I swear, like if you have a phone, if you have if you have your phone at a party and you're filming the whole fucking party, it can't be that good
because you're not in the moment. You're not enjoying yourself. And I mean, a lot of billing clubs don't even allow you to like film.
Which is really sad because I literally like sometimes I forget that I was like, I was there like 2 weeks ago, but I don't have any photos of that night. Like
I remember it though most of the time, unless I was like super drunk, then sometimes I don't. But no, most of the times I remember like going to somewhere.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Imagine like waking up. Where was I yesterday? If that happens to you, maybe call a doctor.
Or maybe just don't drink as much next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually all my points that I have. Oh, you should read number 10 as well.
I have some.
Oh, really? Do you have some more?
I have like so many. I have like, I already read it. Well, one is one that I also have to remind myself, but I was really struggling with when I was younger is your body is
beautiful.
Your body is beautiful and you will never get boobs. So just start accepting that you'll never get boobs and stop wearing those push-up bras because it's okay to have a small chest. And I love my small chest now, but when I was younger,
beautiful boobs, Theresa.
I know, I do. I like love them. I know, I love them now, but like I don't have massive boobs. Come on, like I don't want to like pretend.
But you have boobs. That's
I know,
fine.
I know. And even if I wouldn't, like that's fine. But when I was younger, I was like so consumed with this image of this like big boob woman, like you know, like this Playboy image.
Oh yeah.
And I was just spending so much time worrying about that and spending so much time looking for push-up bras and stuffing them. And like, I remember like always wanted to wear these cute bikinis, but I couldn't wear them because I was like, they have no padding and I feel uncomfortable in my, like, and I always had to get bikinis that I actually thought looked really ugly, but they were the only ones that made me feel comfortable in my boobs.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, but now I'm like, would tell my younger self that you'll never get boobs and just start accepting and loving them because you'll love them later on. I do now, and I think I'm in a place right now where I accept my boobs, and I would wear a shirt without a bra. Which I wouldn't have done like even 2 years ago, I think. And I'm really comfortable in doing that now. So yeah, love your body. And
it's beautiful.
My boobs are boobiful. Boobiful.
Oh my God. I think we just made a new word.
Yeah, boobiful.
Next week it's going to be an Oxford dictionary.
Yeah, like what is a butterful? No.
Beautiful.
It sounds like butter.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. But I always like my butt, so it's okay.
Yeah, me too.
For everyone out there who doesn't, your butt is beautiful. Oh my God. Anyways, I have one last point, which kind of plays into what you said, and that's be patient and trust the process. I am such an impatient person, and I struggle a lot with being patient and just being like, okay, at the moment, you can't work these things out right now. You just have to wait, and sometimes time will tell. And I think I really struggle with that a lot nowadays as well. Mm-hmm. But things will work themselves out. Just be patient and trust that your intuitions were right and what you did was right, and trust the process and the universe that things will work out the way they should work out for you. Just sit still, drink some mimosas with your girlies. Try to do everything you can, obviously, but
I'm sorry, but I'm just picturing you like sitting still drinking mimosas with us. And
things will work out. No, but sometimes actually, because I want to like figure things out on the spot, and it's like sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you have to let life play itself out and be patient and trusting that things will work out. And I think we're constantly in that position, like making decisions or like, for example, figuring out what career we want to take. Do what you can, do what makes you happy, and the rest will figure itself out, and like believing that it will work out, and then it also will work out. I'm believing that right now as well, that like I'm doing the right thing. I'm trying to choose the right things for myself that serve me, and then I trust in the universe that they will also help me to guide me on the right path, and that it will all work out in the end. Amen. Like you said, it will all work out.
Yeah, it's all going to be fine.
It's all going to be fine. And if you think about all the issues you had in your past, like everything where your life's going to end, did it all work out in the end?
It did, ma'am.
It did. I think it did. Like, still obviously you'll have struggles, but that will continue in your life, that you will always think, my life's over. I don't know what to do. Like if you have a heartbreak and you feel like your life's literally over and you're just going to crumble.
Feelings are temporary.
Yes.
It's like you're not going to feel like shit forever. Like it's going to be okay.
You don't want to believe that in that moment, but time will heal you and all your wounds, and time is your friend. Just sometimes you don't want to have them as your friend, but they are your friend, and they.
Yeah, I swear it's often really hard to hear that as well. Like, you know,
in that moment, you're like, "Fuck it, no, I'm not going to get better."
Yeah,
but you will. Like, and just internalizing that thought, and like, I think I said internalizing a lot in this episode.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. It's my new favorite word. Internalize that time will heal everything that's going on in your life right now. Time will tell. And like I said, be patient and trust the process.
Exactly.
Peace. And then one last thing I think we should both have is I love you, and you will love yourself, and I love my younger self.
Aww.
I love my younger self.
I'm getting emotional.
Oh, I know, but I love my younger self, and I love what you did or I did and the choices I made. I love a lot of things about you, and I think I didn't tell myself that back in the day.
No, because I swear if you wouldn't have made those decisions, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
And I love myself, or at least I accept myself the way I am. I love myself, I think, most of the days. I love myself, and I think when I was younger, you don't get that taught. Like your parents tell you they love you, but I think you don't tell that enough to yourself as a teenager. Definitely. You think more about like what's wrong with you than what's right with you. And I think I would just tell myself, I love you, and you're loved, and you're beautiful, and keep on doing the things you're doing because you'll eventually get there.
Oh, it's so beautiful how the sun's coming out now.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Just keep swimming? Is that the one from like Dory? Or like Find Nemo?
I think so, yeah.
I had a poster of that when I was younger, and I was always like looking at it like, just keep swimming, because I was a big Dory fan. I sound like such a loser child. I wasn't. I was my true honest self most of the times. Nah, actually no. That's a lie. I wasn't. But I had a Just Keep Swimming poster on my wall, and
oh my God, wow.
I just thought of that. I fully forgot that I had that poster. But yeah.
Anyways, that was
sorry. I just got so off topic.
I think I had this. I don't know if I had this as a poster, but I think I had it.
I think I did.
This is like Theresa talking to herself.
Yeah, and I'm like trying to capture my younger self and be like, did you have that poster? Yes.
But yes, anyways, that was everything we wanted to tell you. Maybe you even have more things that you would tell your younger self. Maybe take a moment to think about it for like 2 minutes if you have something that you would really, really love to tell your younger self. I just repeated myself. I'm sorry, but yes, that was like, obviously we could always talk, like we could always say more and more and more, but I think these are the like most central ones that have a lot of importance, and stand out. So yeah, we hope you can take away anything from them and implement them in your daily life, or if you're very, very young, just implement them for you and your future self maybe as well. But yes,
and also hug your present self and be like, internalizing those things for your present self. Oh my God, I said it again. And like saying to yourself that you love the way you turned out and everything's...
Yeah, no, be proud of yourself where you are right now, where you stand now, and...
all the things you achieved.
Yeah, like we said, everything's going to be okay no matter where you are right now.
Even that you're just alive, that's an accomplishment.
I know, it's literally like, even if you get out of bed, it's fine. Like you can be proud of yourself, or you have breakfast or brush your teeth or whatever,
The fact that I'm washing my clothes by myself and cooking by myself and just being an adult by myself, paying taxes, that's pretty... Actually, I didn't finish sending off my taxes. I probably have to do that, but... being an adult alone is a challenge, and the fact that we got here and taught ourselves all these things, or like our parents taught us those things, but okay, that's an accomplishment. And just be proud of yourself, enjoy the sun, go have a drink with your friends,
and watch Sex and the City like we're about to.
Yes.
Anyways, we hope you liked the episode as much as we did, as much as we do as well. It was so much fun to talk about it, and we're sending you lots of good energy. Retrograde is about to come soon, so everything's going to be okay no matter how it's going to be seeming in that moment. So we're sending you lots of good energies and good thoughts wherever you are, and we hope you have a wonderful time, like day, night, afternoon, whatever.
Day, night. Anyway, love you guys, have a beautiful day,
and we will see you in our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.